Hey y'all, Marianne here. And I wanted to come on today to talk a little bit about how the movie, The Unsung Hero, helped me fall in love at a new level with my parents. You know, we all have different relationships with our parents, and they change throughout our lives, especially as we're going through different life cycles, right? But especially during those teenage years and again in your mid-30s when you're hitting the teenage years of your second life cycle, it's easy to fall out of love, or it's easy to see everything that your parents are doing wrong. And of course, we know that part of that is their life purpose is completely different than ours. That aside, the Unsung Hero talks about a family, I'm going to forget their names, but anyway, the family that became Rebecca St. James and the King and Country Christian artists. And I'm sorry, Smallbone. The Smallbone family had some really tough financial times before their great success. And when I was researching and going back, I found a blog that was written several years before the movie. And on that blog, it referred to their landlord who forgot to pay or charge them rent some months. And I put air quotes on that because my family, my parents specifically, were those types of landlords. There were months that I would go around collecting rent with my mom and she didn't get it. Or there were many, many more times where she went and collected several months at a time, or a month of rent, and she would tell me, this person hasn't paid me for months. The story that got me the angriest, because it happened during those years when I was in my mid-30s and so angry with my parents in so many ways, and I was studying business strategies, so I knew that this was totally against business strategy. But my mom had hired the sheriff to evict someone who had not paid her rent in 6 months. And that's a little bit of a headache. If you've ever been a landlord, to go through the process, it takes 2 or 3 months, depending on what state you are. Sorry, too many details. Anyway, it's a headache. And my mom both had gone through the time and the investment of money to get the sheriff to get out there to evict her. And on the doorstep, she comes to the door, and whether this is true or not, nobody knows. And she says, "Oh, I just got home from the hospital. My baby was born prematurely last night." And my mom gave her 2 months rent-free to get out. And I'm thinking, how much money are you losing? My parents did fairly well for themselves despite that. But the reason I bring it up is seeing the Smallbone family and knowing the generosity of this landlord who forgot to charge rent some months helped me remember that God's economy, as David Smallbone, I think it's David, the father anyway, grandfather Smallbone says, God's economy comes back and gives you the opportunity to get paid in other ways, which is part of the reason that I have instituted the Receive and Give coaching program to honor my parents who were willing to give of themselves and allow the financial chips to fall where they will. Thanks.